Welcome to the online graduate research forum for fall 2018. My name is Sandra Brooks, your presenter. I am a graduate student in the Masters of Science in Interdisciplinary Studies program in the Department of Occupational Workforce and Leadership Studies. The title of my research study is Mental Health Services for Female Veterans in the VA Healthcare System. I was excited to pursue this research study because I'm a female veteran who has served during peace and wartime. After I read various articles about the struggles female veterans are having when seeking treatment at the VA, I realized some of my struggles are identical to the ones others are experiencing. My goal was to identify the major issues and start finding solutions. Only about 12.3% of the VA utilization are female veterans, and female veterans are the fastest growing population within the VA healthcare system. And over and over again, I read about women having very specific mental health care needs that need to be addressed. The purpose of this study was to investigate the need for proper mental health care for female veterans. The three research questions that guided my study are: does the VA need to expand mental health services for women? Should these services be contracted, and what additional resources are needed? This is a qualitative study which was used to gain an understanding as to why female veterans either use or do not use the VA for mental health care services and why. The study population consisted of 405 male and female veterans. Data collection comprised of face-to-face interviews, phone interviews, and written interviews via email. Data analysis comprised of thematic coding grouping common themes within the responses. As you can see on the chart, women are almost twice as likely to be unhappy with the mental health care they are receiving through the VA. When asked why they were unhappy, several reasons were brought up multiple times. The biggest area of concern was counseling. The VA offers three types of counseling: group counseling, individual counseling, or both. Male and female veterans voiced their concerns about being in mixed groups. Men were uncomfortable because they felt like they were supposed to be strong in front of women, and it was awkward for them to be vulnerable. Many women did not like their assigned therapist, while some women had been victims of military sexual trauma and they could not stand to be in the room with men sharing their experiences. Multiple male and female veterans said they are going to group counseling in a mixed gender setting, and it actually made things worse for them. They felt re-traumatized during these sessions. The second major finding was men and women are being diagnosed very much alike. The literature review showed how male and female veterans show signs of post-traumatic stress disorder very differently. For example, women tend to show signs of PTSD via depression, anxiety, and sleep disorders, while male veterans tend to show signs via substance abuse issues, anger issues, and sleep disorders. One of the major concerns for veterans in this study is that they felt like the VA did not provide an individual diagnosis, but more of a one-size-fits-all approach. The VA tends to categorize veterans as having PTSD, but do not address the individual symptoms. This leads to veterans being unsatisfied with their mental health care treatment by the VA. Veterans want to be treated as individuals and not as a single group. Third major finding was issues and concerns with the CHOICE program. This program is designed for veterans who live 40 miles or farther away from a VA facility. The program allows the veteran to be seen at a private facility in their communities. The common issue and concern is there are not enough providers taking part in the program because they are paid the same rates as Medicaid. The physicians who are part of the program are just as busy as the VA, so there isn't much difference in care, just a shorter car ride. This slide is showing some of the comments that the veterans made during the interviews. My study was limited by the VA not producing reports as fast as they are making major changes to the services they offer veterans. This hinders the research from getting the latest information available. Having a very specific group of participants can be challenging, but this study had 405, and I would recommend getting as many as possible to participate in future studies. I recommend future research be completed at each major VA facility. Once the results are available, there is an opportunity to exchange information across different VA facilities. For example, a good performing VA facility which is receiving positive feedback can be examined and the information be shared with a facility that does not have good feedback from veterans. Future researchers could look at each major VA facility individually and determine what is working well and what is not. Interviewing veterans from that particular facility only will give researchers a feel for how successful that location is. Another research topic could be focusing on the importance of gender-specific services. Not every facility provides gender-specific services, but it was a topic that came up multiple times during my study. The information gathered in this study can help make the lives of veterans much better. More than 22 veterans a day commit suicide, and that number is actually low because not every death is reported and not every death is categorized as a suicide. About 7% of the U.S. population are military veterans. These men and women have made countless sacrifices to this country, and they were promised the VA would take care of them once out of the military. That clearly is not happening at every VA facility, and we as a nation should demand better for these brave men and women. I have prepared a manuscript of this research study for possible peer review in the American Journal of Nursing. On the YouTube page below, please indicate your anonymous preference for this study by clicking on one of these two icons, either like or dislike. In addition, please post your comments or questions in the YouTube comment section below. I will respond to inquiries posted from November 16th through November 30th on this webpage. Thank you for taking the time to review my study.